Hey, brother. And remember at the beginning of Mulan when the family ancestors decide to send the Great Stone Dragon to guide Mulan, but for some reason he doesn't wake up and Mushu goes instead? I mean, don't get me wrong, this proves to be hilarious and awesome, but what the heck, Great Stone Dragon? Why didn't you wake up? They really gloss over this for such an important plot point, but don't worry. Today, we are going to get to the bottom of this. Dragons. Basically what we're all hoping for each week on Game of Thrones, am I right? I'm not sure what it is about giant, flying, fire-breathing reptiles, or actually, maybe I just answered my own question, but humans definitely have a fixation on them. Dragons are celebrated in almost every culture on Earth in one form or another, but the two main distinctions are the European dragon and the Chinese dragon. European dragons are normally depicted as some sort of evil that needs to be defeated, whereas Chinese dragons are benevolent and often revered or even worshipped. We see this right out of the gate in Mulan. The dragon imagery is everywhere. In the logo, on the Chinese flags, on sword hilts and cabinet doors and parades. I mean, Mushu himself is a dragon. And of course, the Great Stone Dragon next to the Fa family's reflection pool. You dumb Great Stone Dragon, why don't you wake up? Mushu's initial job in the movie is just to wake up the other spirits by ringing a gong, and just by barely hitting it, the rest of them all pretty much instantly wake up. Then, after some spirited debate, nailed it, they tell him to awaken the Great Stone Dragon, who inexplicably doesn't wake up, and they never really explain it at all. Or do they? Another heavy theme in the movie is reflection and being true to yourself. Characters are constantly checking their reflection in helmets, mirrors, water, heck, even the DVD art shows Mulan's dual personalities reflected in her sword, and Mulan herself sings an entire song about it in the movie. And of course, by the end of the movie, this is all resolved. All the characters have broken free the shackles of perception and embraced who they really are. Right, cool, that's great, we get that. But what does that have to do with why the dragon doesn't wake up? I'm getting there. The reason the stone dragon doesn't wake up is because Mulan is the Great Stone Dragon. Or at least the spirit is already inside her. That might sound a little crazy, but there is a lot of evidence to support this. Like when Mulan is singing that song about reflection, the lyric she sings while standing in front of the dragon is, "Who is that girl I see staring straight back at me?" Well, the answer, Mulan, is actually just a few steps in front of you. In this shot, it's a little blurred out and blocked by that leaf there, but the answer is the Great Stone Dragon. It's just a little bit of foreshadowing right there. Then, later that night, when Mulan is in the process of stealing her father's armor, a few important things happen. First, we see her sitting alone in the rain under the Great Stone Dragon. This is the moment that she decides she's going to go to war. Next, she goes into the family temple and prays, prompting the spirits to take action. We know this is how it works because it's what the grandma does later. Then we get a not so subtle transition as the camera zooms in on the stone dragon's face and then fades into a different glass panel dragon inside the house, through which we can see Mulan. I wonder what her reflection would look like in that window. Then we get a close-up of the hilt of her father's sword, which is, you guessed it, a dragon. And I love the framing here because as she unsheaths the sword, the dragon is replaced by her own reflection in the blade. Honestly, they're kind of pouring it on thick if you ask me. I'm not even sure if this is up for debate. It's just whether or not you noticed. But they are not done just yet because in case you missed all of that subtlety, as Mulan leaves, we get to see the stone dragon actually briefly come to life. As she rides away from her house, the eyes flash green on the statue. Okay, technically it's on the stone panel, but it's still the stone dragon. I'm thinking these are the same two things. Yeah, the message is clear. Mulan is the dragon. And if it helps, this is not just some shoehorned in idea. This is actually a really common idea in Chinese idioms and proverbs. For example, this, which I am definitely not going to try and read and or pronounce, but which roughly translates to wishing one's son would become a dragon. Since Mulan is posing as her father's son, I'd say that applies pretty pretty nicely here. As the movie progresses, Mulan continues to embody different traits of the Chinese dragon. This can get a little complicated, but in very broad strokes, the Chinese dragon is supposed to represent strength, power, luck, and can command different forces of nature, like hurricanes or floods. And since this is a Disney movie, I think the best we can hope for is broad strokes, so let's just run through them. Shang claims that one of the two medals you must carry with you to the top to retrieve the arrow represents strength, and Mulan pretty much nails that. Shows power when she defeats Shan Yu in battle. And luck? Well, you might say that's the work of the lucky cricket. Mushu certainly gives him the credit.
Man, you are one lucky bug.
But then later, Cricky reveals that he is in fact not a lucky cricket.
What? What do you mean you're not lucky? You lied to me?
So then where is the luck coming from? Mulan, aka the Great Stone Dragon. As for controlling nature, well, Mulan definitely doesn't show any sort of mystic power in this field, but she does make nature respond to her will by causing an avalanche and destroying most of the Hun army. She does this by firing a dragon-shaped rocket with a live dragon on the rocket. And yes, I know all of the rockets in this movie are shaped like dragons, but still, she causes an avalanche. She does that. Then, to reinforce it even further, just in case you missed all of the symbolism in the movie so far, the movie leaves us with no doubt that Mulan is the dragon when the Emperor literally puts a gold medal around her neck with the dragon symbol on it. A woman with a dragon symbol defeats a bunch of barbarians with fire and then the entire nation bows to her? Where have I heard that before? Oh yeah! Hashtag Mulan is Khaleesi. Let's make this happen. Seriously. Last but not least is the final reflection shot they give us. It's the opposite vantage point from the last time we saw the pond. Rather than sitting alone in the rain, she is now sitting surrounded with her family in the sun. Her mission complete and her honor restored. Cool, but what does that have to do with the dragon? Well, whose point of view do you think we're seeing this from? Who was sitting on the other side of the pond? That's right, the Great Stone Dragon. Yes, I know it was destroyed earlier in the film. I'm just guessing it's been restored since then. Then my question for you and everyone else is, what do you think? Is Mulan the Great Stone Dragon? Let me know your thoughts down in the towel section below, and I will see you in another life, brother.
These socks are amazing!
Guys, thanks for watching. As always, make sure you like this video if you haven't already, and subscribe so you don't miss any future Mulan videos. If you want to see why Mulan is hands down the best Disney princess ever, you can check out my top 10 reasons right here, or if you just want to know more about the movie, you can check out Ben's Fast Fact video about Mulan right here. See you next time.